Welcome to this presentation. Today I'll show you about how to use the payroll module of the system. For you to use the payroll module, you need 3 modules installed: accounting, payroll, and employees. First, we shall do configuration, where we shall set the salary journal, then salary structures, add an employee, do contracts, and then generate our payslips, show how the deductions will be carried along, and also register payments. So first on my screen, I'll click on the accounting module. I'll see a dashboard, and you'll notice that I have several journals configured. I will use cash as my journal for paying the salaries, and you'll notice that the balance is 4,500. I'll duplicate my screen so that I can be able to switch forward and backwards. Then I'll go to the payroll module, configurations, salary structures. And I will define a salary structure. For example, I define just a basic structure, and the basic structure is a basic salary. And in the basic salary, I'm just getting the contract wage amount, and I'm also taking away the deductions from the total. So from the deductions, only input and amount. You'll see that when we are doing the payroll. So in our basic salary structure, we have the basic salary and deductions as our computation. Then I'll go to the employees module. I'll configure an employee. And there are 3 things that are needed for the employee. First, of course, the employee details, then a contract attached to the employee, and an address assigned to the employee. The address is where the billing will happen, so we shall be paying to this address that employee. Now, first of all, work information. These are just normal details. What is important here is job position. So every employee will need to have a job position, and you can create one standard position for any employee that doesn't have a job position. Then under private information, we need a private address configured. And in this address is just basically the name, an address where that employee dwells, or the phone details, email, and also bank account if necessary. Then I'll save that employee. Now, after having an employee needs a contract. So you'll click on the contract menu button, quick access button. If the contract is not there, we just create. I will open one that has already been created. So you'll have the contract reference, the employee name, of course, the department and job position. Now you remember the salary structure that we had configured. You'll just drop down and be able to select it. Then when the contract is starting, and if it has a trial period, if it has an end date, and how are you paying your wages? Is it monthly? Is it weekly? Is it quarterly? So by default, I set that. You remember on the accounting module, we had seen cash as a journal. Then here on the contract, we will set salary journal as cash, so that as we are running our payroll, we can pay it from this journal. Salary information. What are our wages? What is the wage for this particular person under this contract? So for example, $300 a month. So I will save that. So we have configured a contract, and the contract has the start date and end date, the accounting journal. The end date is not important, or it's not a mandatory field. The wage, because this is now what we shall use on the other side. So after having a contract, then we shall go to the payroll module. Now it is end of the month, and we need to generate payslip for this particular individual. So I'll just create a payslip here. I will select the employee. Once I select the employee, the system already knows under which contract that employee has been signed, and also the salary structure that is being used. By default, it will take the current month as the payslip name. Then, of course, it will have the basic inputs, which is the normal working days. And if your contract is in terms of hours, then it will also include. Then here I'll just add a deduction. Maybe this employee lost an item. So lost an item, and we are deducting maybe 20. Under which contract? Under his contract. So I'll just save and confirm. I'll confirm the pay slip. Once I confirm the pay slip, under the salary computation, you will see clearly the basic salary is 300, and there is a deduction of minus 20. And of course, it will give you the details. If I click on the salary slip details here, I'll also be able to see quantity, basic, and the deductions. Now, at this point, I need to do the payment of the payslip. I'll register payment, and you'll notice that the payment amount is now 280 because there was a deduction of 20. I'll select a payment method that I want in case it is different. So I'll do the cash. I will select the currency, and in that case, I will just validate. What happens is the system registers a payment of that amount, and it notifies both you, the user, plus the person whom you're sending the payment to. Remember here, our total balance was 4,500. If I just refresh the system, then I'll be able to see the change in terms of the balance. And the balance now is 4,220, meaning it has minus the 280 that we had previously. And that's it for the payslip module. Thank you.